nouveau.
Good day, our African audiences across the continent. Africa, my motherland. Africa, the old continent. Today we are very pleased to present to you a guest who is, I think, the very first time joining us here on Africa and Monarchy for our Saturday show. We are receiving Mr. Daniel Yevugah, who is the president of the Concerned Citizens of Western Togoland. We are pleased to have him with us to share some concerns, as he said, the concerned citizens of Western Togoland. Mr. Daniel Yevugah, welcome to Africa Monarchy.
Thank you very much, my brother. I'm very grateful for this opportunity given to the concerned citizen of the Western Togoland.
Yes, Mr. Yevugah, tell us about yourself.
Thank you. My name is Daniel Yevugah, as you earlier mentioned. I come from a land of Togoland, the second half of Western Togoland, today known as the Volta region. I'm 100% an Anglo and Avenoma. My father comes from Anglo, my mother comes from Aveno, and then I am proud African.
So then our audience might want to know, what is the geographical location of Western Togoland?
Thank you very much. The geographical location of the Western Togoland covered about 87,200 kilometers square meter, which was half Togoland of the German territory.
Okay, so what was the purpose of the 1956 plebiscite in Western Togoland?
Thank you very much. Western Togoland was a mandatory territory by the League of Nations. The people of Western Togoland have not committed any crime before the First World War in 1914. Unfortunate for our forefathers, the War of Togoland came there, and through that a lot of people were being killed. After that, the land was divided into two, which the eastern part was given to the French administration to nurture them to be on their own, which today we can see the Republic of Togo. And the western part was given to the Great Britain to administer, nurture them, for them also to be on their own. But unfortunate for us, it has not happened like that. Before Dr. Kwame Nkrumah gained independence to Gold Coast, today Ghana, the then British governor, collaboration with Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, asked our forefathers to join Gold Coast, and our forefathers have not agreed. So the UK went to the parliament, and they have agreed, wrote a letter to the United Nations for a union to be established, or a union to be held between the people of Gold Coast and British Togoland. Unfortunate for our forefathers in 1956, they were humiliated. People have not been given opportunity to participate in the election. After this, 58% of the citizens of the Western Togoland, our forefathers, voted for union. They chose union. And 48% voted for no, for union. They rather prefer to separate, which they wanted to be on their own as a country. But because the majority carried the vote for the union, the 58% won, which the union supposed to be established. Unfortunate for all of us, the union have not been established for the past 63 years. What happens before the union have not been established? It is only Great Britain and the UN knows the reason why the union between British Togoland and Western Togoland, Western Togoland and Gold Coast have not been established. Because of that, we don't have any union act till today, over 63 years now.
So, are you saying that what we're seeing in Ghana is not a union? Because we see one state, one nation. Isn't it the case?
It's not. It's not, because the union between Gold Coast and Western Togoland or British Togoland have not been established. Our forefathers voted on the 9th May 1956 for union, and that is what Britain requested from the United Nations, and the UN have approved for union, but the union have not been established. Immediately after the election in 9th May 1956, on the 12th July 1956, the same year, Gold Coast and its territory people went and voted for unitary, which they have boycotted the election on the 1956 on the 9th May, which the Togolanders have agreed on. So because of that, when you even look at the Ghana Independent Act at 1957, Western Togoland was not included till today. The people of the Fantis, they signed the bond of 1844. The Ashanti kingdoms were captured in war. So they have agreed for federal or federalism, and the Northern Territory signed an agreement with Britain. Our forefathers have not been captured in war, neither by colonized by Great Britain. But unfortunate for us, the union that our forefathers chose have not been established till today. So we, the people or the concerned citizens of Western Togoland, see it clearly that because the union have not been established and there is no union act, there is no union act between Togoland and Gold Coast, the union between Togoland and Gold Coast has not been established.
So in a union, suppose that there is a union that is formed, do you think that you will be better off in a union than the situation right now?
Thank you very much. If union is not better, we think United Kingdom will not include England in union with them in 1536. When you go to Scotland, 1706, United Kingdom signed a union act with them. When you go to Ireland, 1800. If union is not good, why should the United Kingdom sign a union with those countries? It tells you when you are in a union with another country, you might look better than reducing our status from a countryship to an ordinary region. Even as we speak, Western Togoland has been reduced to the extent that we are a district. Why did I say so? Recently, we heard that the Ghana Revenue Authority, what is happening in the Volta region or the Western Togoland now is that the GRA headquarters, the regional office has been moved to Koforidua. So they have reduced a whole country to a status of a district, which is supposed not to be.
So right now, Mr. Yevugah, do you feel to be a Ghanaian or you don't?
I don't.
So you don't belong, you don't feel like culturally, politically, socially, and so on. You don't feel at ease as a Ghanaian. Yeah, this is what you're saying?
Yes, I said this because when you look at the human rights abuse on the citizens of Western Togoland, it's unacceptable. Today, if you are a Western Togolander, whether you are an Anglo man or you are an Ewe man, whether you are a Muslim coming from the northern part of the Togoland, wherever you go, we have a name. Ghana do say initially they have 10 regions. It is only we that they have given names. And politicians in Ghana always insult us. Even at our workplace, they do tell us, you are Togolese. Even recently, a whole member of parliament, Honorable K.T. Hammond, said it categorically that the people of Ketu South are Togolese. We heard it, Honorable Kennedy Japan, who is a member of parliament in some years back, said it categorically that they should kill the airways, they should kill the Nordnet, they should kill the guns. A lot of incidents that are human rights abuse against the citizens of Western Togoland, which is uncountable. And I feel so bad when we are hearing those things. Even when you're at the workplace, they will do everything possible to push you out. And that is what is happening. But the human resources that Western Togoland have provided to the nation Ghana is uncountable.
Yeah, but you did have some very big people, like big, most important people. J.J. Rawlings is, I think, from your area, yeah, if I guess. So he has been president for over 15 years. So why didn't he look into this case?
Rawlings has been a president for the Republic of Ghana for over 20 years, or almost 20 years, who is a son of the Togoland.
Yes.
Let me use this opportunity. Today is the burial day of the late mother of Jerry John Rawlings, which, as we speak, the burial rite is going on at Keta as we speak.
Okay.
Rawlings, in so many occasions, letters upon letters have been written to former head of state, which is former President Rawlings, concerning this Western Togoland issue. He is aware. And we, the Togolanders, believe that the way the current government is handling the issue, maybe if should not be Rawlings' regime, it might not be this way. Why are we saying this? The issue is documented. So why won't you went into the document and see where the problem is coming from and solve it once and for all? So the issue has been tabled in front of him. And because he's no more a president, what can he do? Unfortunate for him, after he served Ghana, we the Togolanders, home and abroad, it is later that we got to know that, yes, indeed, the reason why some of the Ghanaian politicians always insult us, they see us as alien, there was a reason.
Yeah, so if this is the case, if the issue is very well documented, why don't you reach out to the United Nations to somehow get them involved in this case?
Thank you very much. The leaders of the Western Togoland restoration agenda are doing their best. They are doing their best through so many means by engaging the international community, especially the United Nations, International Human Rights Court, Amnesty International, UNPO, which is the Unrepresented People's Organization, for them to attend to this issue of Western Togoland and address it. So we are still waiting upon them to come to our aid and see to it that our fundamental human right has been what? Infringed.
Okay, yeah, sir, because those issues that were created by colonization, that Africa was living peacefully before these invaders, came, these looters, came, invaded, and looted everything that they could take away. So we know that they have created so many problems in Africa. And when they were, leaving, finally, they created more before they left. Dividing families and, tribes and etc., etc. I think the UN got involved, I know. Because after the League of the Nations, the UN got involved, and I think they should be aware of this problem. This is why I was, asking you if you have somehow reached out to the United Nations so that they can be reminded that, by the way, that problem that you have created in the western part of Africa is still there. Some people are not happy. What are you doing about it? So I think it demands a lot of convincing to do. If you have your documentation, I think you need to take them to the United Nations, and maybe someone will listen. So I think, but you said something that caught my attention. You said they insult you. The other Ghanaians are insulting you, and they are calling you Togolese. What is wrong to be called a Togolese? You're not happy to be a Togolese?
Thank you very much. It's better that I'll gain my identity as a Togolese, but you tell the international community that I am part of you and we are one people with one Ghana. So if you know we are one people and with one Ghana, why should you call me a name that you yourself you don't want to hear? That would be my question. You know, Ghanaians, we are saying there's nothing calling Togoland. We and the Eastern Togoland, we are one people. The first and the Second World War, our great grandfathers have not created any problem in the Western world. Neither any great grandfathers of Africa went to the Europe and go and create any war there. But they came here and come and divide us. And after dividing us, you allow our twin brothers to be on their own. Why did you let our own African country to colonize we, the Western part? That is one thing that we didn't understand. That is the reason why the Ghanaian authority, they have the audacity anytime, any day, by insulting us. You are Togolese, you are coming from here, and so forth. To the extent that, especially when you get to the election year, when it's anytime you are at workplace and you speak your local dialect, they have a name that they'll give to you. In Ghana, that is what is happening. So we feel so bad that if they said we are part of them, why are they still calling us names? So it's better that we separate with them, or we'll make sure that the union which needs to be established, if the union being established, Ghana will surely respect the Union Act. Ghana will respect the Union Constitution. But because the union have not been established, and there is no Union Act, that is the reason why the Ghanaian authority, they have the audacity to even do anything that they want. So anytime they use this word, we became very, very bad within our soul in everything.
Yeah, but knowing a little bit Ghana, one will think that you have been very well integrated, because I know the late Alfred Kublenu, Kojo Chikata, etc., were all from your area, and these people were like at the very summit of the Ghanaian political apparatus. So why are we today saying that you are being like discriminated against? I don't understand that. This is why I'm digging. I want to know, because I might might have mistaken. Yeah. So.
Thank you very much. You have mentioned a lot of great men,
yes,
their names, coming from the land of Western Togoland.
Yes.
The truth of the matter is that when you get closer to a river, it is there that you know that even a frog in the river used to cough. Those great men faced a lot of challenges at the time they were holding positions, but they can't come out and say it. And what we are talking about, they are all aware. They are all aware of what is happening. And so when you look at it, they are very quiet in the mood because they feel pain within their soul. The insult, the humiliation that they get at their workplace, before today, some of them are retired. And so today is still ongoing. Today, when you go to other departments in Ghana, a lot of things are going on. You dare not, even to the extent that they did everything possible to even making sure that our language shouldn't even be spoken at certain environment. Why should they be like that?
So, but this looks like a colonization. Is it what you're saying?
Exactly. Britain have let his colonized country, his colonized territory, an African brother, have colonized its own African country, which is unacceptable. Great Britain, we are very grateful that the Queen of England is alive today. She's over 90 years now. It is her regime that is all this problem has been created. And the United Nations is having all these records. And the Great Britain is having all these records. The bond of 1844, our forefathers have not signed it. The Ashanti, which were captured in war, our forefathers have never been captured in war. We rather defeat the British. We defeated them in so many wars. The likes of Datu Tagba, the Tonga Island and stuff, we defeated them. You understand? Lastly, they came out by signing the Treaty of Amity, which is a business transaction document, because they know they can never, because they know that they can never overthrow our forefathers. They find a way by letting their colony colonize our own country, which is the Togoland. Meanwhile, our country, Togoland, is older in independent state than even their colony, how do you call it, Gold Coast. Why should it happen?
So, have you ever petitioned the Queen of England about this, or the Queen of United Kingdom? Yeah.
Yes, we did so. You know, one good thing about this thing, the struggle is that the citizens, both home and abroad, are doing a lot of great works, which letters has been written to the Queen in several occasions. We are only hoping that they should attend to the issue so that this problem can be solved once and for all.
Okay, let's move to another topic. There is a claim that the southern part of the territory referred to as the Volta Triangle was part of the Gold Coast. Some people are also claiming that Volta Triangle included in Western Togoland. Do you have any document to prove that Volta Triangle was included in Western Togoland?
Thank you very much. There is no document that shows that Great Britain have colonized the people of Anglon, Avenon, Tong, Mafi, Peki. Never. There's no document. Neither they have conquered the Anglons in any war. Rather, our forefathers used to defeat the whites in the ages. And it reached to a point they have surrendered and telling our great-grandfathers that now they can see they cannot be defeated. So they wanted to sign a friendship agreement. It's not a colonized agreement. That friendship agreement was signed at Jelukofe. And the Treaty of Jelukofe is not a colonization document. So any person that might say that the people of Anglon or the Volta Triangle is not part of the Togoland, the question is, why should one part of the eastern Togoland might have Atlantic Ocean, which is the sea, and the second half, which is the western Togoland, might not have a sea? It's neither here nor there. There's no document. Our forefather, that is the reason why even the Independent Act, you will not see any Anglon king, Anglon chief who signed any document of colonization. If any person have a document that has been signed that the Britain have colonized the people of Anglon and Avenon, the person should bring it up. We have the fact. The only document was the Treaty of Amity and Common. And one thing, there is a British Queen, how do you call it, grandson, who is called Mayhem, was celebrating his birthday. And when they asked of bringing the African maps, unfortunate for him, they brought the Togoland, the half Togoland map, and he used pencil to draw that he have using the southern part as a birthday gift to his grandmother. How can you use somebody's land? Your great-grandfather have not owned a land on an Africa. How can you use an African land as a birthday gift to your grandmother? And even using that, it is not the people. It is the revenue that is coming from the land. That is what he asked, that any revenue that is coming from that part of the land should be sent to the Queen. So there is no document that shows that that part of the land is for Britain. The Germans is having our map. The United Nations is having the map. The Britain itself is having the original map of the Togoland. And we are also having the same original map. And we did a lot of research, which has given us the proof that the Anglos are all part of the Togoland. So there is no truth that the Anglos or the southern part of the Togoland is not a British colony.
So this fight that you are leading, what are the northerners, the northern part of Togoland, what are they saying? Are they supportive of this endeavor, or you are just, fighting a lonely fight?
Thank you very much. Our good brothers from the northern part of the Togoland, I greet you all. Our brothers and sisters from the northern part, when we visited them, they do tell us that we always see ourselves as a Ghanaian, but they don't see themselves as a Ghanaian because the way they are even neglected. When you go to the northern part and you see the living standard of the people, my brother, you cry for them. Drinking water, they don't have it. There's no development, nothing. So always, sometimes they even accuse us that because we have seen ourselves that we are Ghanaians and we, the Southerners, are a bit developed, so we always feel comfortable than them. And they know that they are not Ghanaians. And they are ever ready, anytime, any day, for the restoration of Western Togoland, because they believe strongly that if Western Togoland be restored as a nation, they will get massive development than before. So the Northerners are part of us. Whenever we go to meeting, we have a lot of discussion. We do visited them. They also visited us. So they were all part of the struggle.
So the northern part includes Bolgatanga, Bako, and what areas is that?
We have Welensi, Boko, yes. Damanko,
yes.
Yenji. We have Kulungugu. We share border with Burkina Faso. And part of our land has been carved away when you go to the Brona-Ahafo region. Yes. Even Germany and Co, they are all part. Kratchi, KJB, Dambai, Nkwanta, they were all part of the Togoland. They are all part of the Togoland. Today, when you go to those territories, you see the handwork of the Germans. The British have never done anything on the land of Togoland. When the Germans came, the Germans did not wanted to colonize the people of Togoland. Rather, they wanted to help the people of Togoland to develop. That is the reason why they even started with a railway. So you could see that of that time, we are a very small nation or small land, but we are having a rapid development. Unfortunately, when the war came and the German left, and you won't come to the land of Togoland today and come and see any handwork of Britain. Because in those days, when the Europeans were coming, wherever they captured, you see the identification. But there's nothing shown on the land of Togoland shows that it is Britain who have built this school, who have built this. No, nothing like that. The Germans have built schools, they have built churches. That is the reason why we have the German Bremer missionary. Which one did the Britain have on the land of Togoland? Even the southern part that they used to talk about. When you go there, all the things that is there has been done by the German. After the Portuguese and stuff left, everything was done by the German. The British only came and bought a fort. If you buy a fort on our land, that does not mean you buy the whole land or you buy the people. It is a fort somebody has bought from the German. Even that one was not bought by Britain itself. It was a British citizen who bought that fort. So you cannot say that by buying the fort, the land of Togoland or the southern part belongs to you.
Okay, after all this, what is the current relationship between the Republic of Ghana and the Western Togoland?
It's very, very bad. As we speak, Ghanaian authorities, led by His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, have ordered the security service, and they were after citizens of Western Togoland all over. All because there's some incident happened recently, and through that, they were humiliating people. And the humiliating is not today that it started. It started since our forefathers' time. And the current government's own is Wesa. But the good part of it is that we are in the 21st century. So technology was able to help us to reach our families. But in the olden days, they will arrest you and kill you and dump you somewhere. People even be arrested and sent to prison without the notice of the family. So as we speak, citizens of Western Togolanders have been arrested. Over 80 people have been arrested as we speak. Some were arrested last year. In the middle of the year, people are also being arrested. And they are still going to court. And we are not understanding the whole thing. The reason why the government is not even paying attention by addressing the issue itself, but the only thing that they are doing is to arrest, brutalizing people, shooting of people. As we speak, citizens of Western Togoland, recently about 3 people has passed away through gunshot of the Ghana army, ordered by the security authorities, which we believe strongly that is not what can solve the problem.
So what are the forms of human rights abuses by the Ghanaian government on the people of Western Togoland? And do you have any proof that, yes, human rights are being abused by the authority?
Thank you. Africa have a history. Europeans have a history. United Kingdom, UK, every nation, every human have a history. But it has become a crime for a citizen of Western Togoland to talk about their history on the land of their own. It has become a crime. And Ghana authorities don't want to even hear the name of Togoland, a country on its own. And as we speak, some years back in the year 2000, on the way to Cape Coast, when you reach Mankasim, there is a village along the coast, and the people living there, we are all the people coming from the southern part of the Togoland. In 2000, some incidents happened under President Kufuor regime. People were beaten, people were killed, and even today, recently in 2019, when they were about to divide the land of Togoland, and they wanted to change the identity of Togoland again by giving it another name, an alien name, which is the Oti. The citizens of Western Togoland, led by the concerned citizen, raised an objection, write letters to the authority that if you wanted to divide the land, that all of us on the land must participate in it. People were killed. People have been beaten. People have been sent to jail, sent to cell because of this. We have not committed any crime. Anytime you raise an issue which needs to be addressed, Ghana authorities will be after you. Recently, an honorable man, which is in one of the international organizations, which is PLC, Mr. Divine Odonko, which is the Secretary General of the PLC, went to a Registrar General, wanted to register a document through the rightful means, the legitimate thing. He was arrested. Someone who is going through the legitimate means by making sure that I wanted to register a name. He was arrested and was sent to bar. And as we speak, the case is still. Why is it that any time the Western Togolanders mention the name of Togoland, it has become a crime? During the voters' registration in the Volta region, and a young lady who is a student schooling at Togo, the mother coming from the southern part, which is the Ketusa of the Togoland, the father is from the eastern part, and the girl is an orphan. The father passed away when she was on her tender age. The name of the girl is Pelagie. The girl is schooling in Togo, the eastern Togo. This girl came to the mother, wanted to collect a food stamp. And when she was going back during the COVID-19 period, this young lady was beaten, brutalized by the Ghanaian immigration officers at Segbe border. Until today, the president of Ghana have never said anything about this innocent young lady, a 19 years lady who is schooling in Togo. The mother is coming from the western part, the father is coming from the eastern part. The girl was humiliated, which even the authorities, both the two, Ghana and Togo, have agreed that students can pass through the rightful means by going to school. But this girl was humiliated. She was beaten, brutalized. Till today, the Ghanaian authority have never uttered a word by saying anything about what they have done to this girl. I just spoke with a girl yesterday. What is happening? People are being beaten, even to the extent that our king, the whole paramount king of Asogli State, and he's the president of the National House of Chiefs, during the registration time, he went out by sympathizing with the people, the way they were being humiliated. The Ghanaian authorities, we are calling him names. Pamwem Taipa, a whole lot of names. Anytime something is going on the land of Togoland, and any king or chief wanted to talk about it, Ghanaian politicians will give that king a name. We felt so bad recently when a politician told a whole paramount chief, a whole national president of the House of Chiefs, that he is now a pulling agent. And the president of Ghana have never said anything about that. These are some of the human rights abuse that they are doing against the citizens of Western Togoland. Anytime any king wanted to say something about what is happening on his people, quickly they will send the security after that chief, which is very bad.
In 1959, there was an act of a Parliament of Ghana which transforms the Trans-Volta Togoland to Volta region. Now, what legal base or basis do can you prove that there is still the existence of something called Western Togoland?
Thank you. In 1959, they did this because what's supposed to do, the government of Togoland need to sign a union with GOCO, which was not established. The next thing that they do is to start changing the identity of Togoland. That is the reason why in 1959, they quickly changed the identity of Togoland to Volta region. And as we speak, some part of Volta region land has been given to other regions. And now the Volta region has become a spare part just to eliminate the name of Togoland. And we believe strongly what they are doing very soon, even the name of Volta region, they will change it by giving it their own name. One typical example, a place like Jopon is part of Volta region, but today they are saying it's in the eastern region. Atimpoku, previously it was called Koku Atikpo Kofe, Tobi Koku Atikpo Kofe. It has been brought into eastern region. When you go to Francadia, where our forefathers they used to call Aflagachia, it has been sent to eastern region. When you go to Asekuma Junction, it is in the eastern region. When you go to Germany, it was on the land of Western Togoland. It is in the eastern region. Currently, they curve away part of it by giving it another alien name. That alien name, when we did our checks, it is an Ashanti king name, which is Nana Oti Akenten. Nana Oti Akenten. So for them to use the identity on our land, they try everything possible by saying that it was River Oti. It is not River Oti that they are giving to the new region. Just to put the identity on it illegally. Something which does not have any legal legitimacy. When you come to a place like Sege, you come to a place like Adan, they were all part of Togoland. But Adan now is in the Greater Accra. Sege is in Greater Accra. When you go to Osha, Usuduku, Akusi, they were all part of the Togoland. But today, they are all part of Greater Accra. So you could see the changing of the identity. They were doing it gradually. The most annoying part was the recent one, to separate some ethnic group from the others. So as we speak, we can say that they have separated the Ewe from the Akan-speaking people from the Volta region. It's a strategy that they are using. But we know all these things. So it is just changing of identity that they were doing. Even before they create this new region, they went to Parliament and passed a law regarding for the creation of the region. When we raise objection by demonstrating through the legitimate way, by telling them that the right thing needs to be done, what they told us is that it is the people who requested for, for the referendum. That is the reason why they are doing the referendum. If it is only the people who requested for the new region, then our question is that what about the 48% of the Togolanders who have not accepted to join Ghana. Why haven't you left them to be on their own? But you join those who have accepted and those who have not accepted together. So the whole thing, since from the time memorial, they were only changing the identity of Togoland just to eliminate everything from their system. That is that today, when you go to the Ghanaian history, there's nowhere that you even see anything about Togoland. They were doing it gradually, even fighting for the independence of Ghana. We have a great man from the Togoland called Beli Bedema. He was a right man for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. But today, Bedema's name is nowhere in the history of Ghana. Even when they were talking about the Big Six, Bedema should be part of the Big Six. But his name is not in it because he's coming from Togoland. That is the reason why he was made the first prime minister or the first finance minister for Ghana or Gold Coast. But his name is nowhere to be.
I think we are having some technical difficulties around with Daniel Yevugah. So I hope I will be able to come back to. Okay, so yeah, as you know, ladies and gentlemen, today we are receiving Yevugah, Daniel Yevugah, the president of the concerned citizens of the Western Togoland. Western Togoland, that part of Ghana, that part that is between Togo and Ghana today, that used to be somehow an autonomous region, or a land on its own before the arrival of the Germans, and even during the rule of the Germans, the land was still standing alone, as a nation, or at least as a land, with their chieftaincies and other things. So, but everybody knows that the consequences of the First World War was that there were a lot of changes that took place when it comes to territories in Africa. Germans, having lost the war, also lost their territories, just pushing all those territories that used to be under Germans, in some kind of a chaos whereby, there was nowhere to go. And so, yeah, we're talking about this today because Mr. Daniel Yevugah is the leader of a movement now in the Western Togoland, which is technically already integrated in the Ghana, into Ghana, but they feel like their rights and cultural identity is not really are not really respected, and so they are appealing for the restoration of their land as it used to be before the arrival of the invaders, the predators, who came and scattered everybody, across the land. So we are very thankful to have Mr. Yevugah today, and because of some technical difficulties, we are going to maybe wait a little bit to see if, because we still have a few questions that we wanted him to answer, because you cannot, win a case unless you explain that to people, make sure that people understand what is it that you're saying. So I think he's coming back. I can see the signs. He just joined the Skype, so he's going to be back. For those who are watching us today, know that Tempo Africa TV is a station for Africans, by Africans and of Africans. So therefore, whenever you have an issue you want the world to know, reach out to Tempo Africa TV and you will be served. We are here to make sure that we communicate whatever African concerns are, and you are going to be served. Yes, we're happy that Mr. Yevugah is back with us. I have another follow-up question for Mr. Yevugah. Yeah, hello? You are with
hello,
me? Yes? Good. So in 1982, there was another act of Parliament of Ghana which specified the areas which included the indigenous of Ghana. Was the Western Togoland included in that document?
Western Togoland was not included in that 1985 Act of Parliament. If you check the record, no part of Togoland has been mentioned in that document. Nothing that Ghana do by mentioning any part of Togoland. When you look at all their historical facts on their records, nothing contains any community or any town in their documentation. That is the reason why when you check all of their art, their document and stuff, nothing shows that there was this king or there was this chief coming from Georgia, Aflau, Denu, Angloga, Keta, Ho, Pandu, Hokwe, or KJB, Jasikai, or Dambai signed any document. Nothing shows, and we don't have that record.
So some people will say, why are people agitating for something that is a lost cause? You know, so what do you want, people from Western Togoland?
Thank you very much. We need the restoration of our dear nation, Western Togoland. The moment the union have not been established, since from 1950 to today, over a decade, over 63 years, we need the restoration of Western Togoland, which we believe strongly, both international and local law, we have not committed any crime against international law and local law. We have the human right to fight for our freedom. We have our human right to call for what is right for us. So the only thing that the Togolanders are looking for now is total restoration of their dear nation, Western Togoland. The union between these two countries have not been established. If there is a union document, they should bring the union document out. They should bring the Union Act out. If union is not something good, why should the United Kingdom be in union? Why should the United States, America be in union with other countries? And all these countries, they have an Union Act. When you go to Russia, they have a Union Act. Where is our own? It's nowhere to be found. The identification of Togoland needs immediate restoration, total restoration of the Togoland. If anything, the Ghanaian authority, the way they were humiliating us, they should allow the people of Western Togoland to form their own government, as the United Nations have ordered United Kingdom to do. So the unfinished job that was given to the United Kingdom, which is Great Britain, which they were not able to complete, the citizens of Western Togoland are now ready, ever ready to complete it. The unfinished job, we are ever ready to complete it. That is the requirement given by the UN. It is Britain who have written the letter to them that this is what they wanted to do. And the UN has given the requirement, and the requirements have not been fulfilled. So the Togolanders are now ready to fulfill the requirement of the UN, the unfinished job. So we are using the citizen diplomacy by passing through the right channel, by engaging the authority. That is the reason why when you look at it, all the authorities, letters upon letters have been with them. But it's just like they some have decided not to bother about this issue, and they know the reason why they don't want to, which will not help. And we are very much grateful the way things were now. Some of the groups have taken the matter to the International Human Rights Court, for the International Human Rights Court to fight this, our fundamental human rights, which has been infringed. And the UNPO, which is the Unrepresented People's Organization, an affiliated organization to the United Nations, these are the legitimate means. And we, the citizens of the land too, are also making sure that we'll do everything possible by engaging our people which they can be law-abiding people by not doing any violence on the land. Because there is a proverb in our longer language from the southern. So we need to do everything possible by gaining our restoration of the Togoland through legitimate means.
Yeah, last year I think the world witnessed. I think an old man, maybe might be a 90-year-old man, being arrested and put into a military helicopter and taken away as part of the crackdown by the Ghanaian government on the Western Togolanders, or the activists. So then we know that the Ghanaian government is very well aware of the situation. So they might be saying that it is just a few agitators who are just making noise. It is not what Ghanaian, Western Togolanders want. So are you looking for like a referendum or the same plebiscite to show that yes, the majority of the people on Togoland are really willing to move on as an independent entity?
My answer for that question in the first place is that we don't need any referendum any longer. We don't need any referendum. In Africa, what we, the Togolanders, we have observed is that there's no honesty in doing things when it comes to election. Even the recent referendum that they did for the creation of the region, people were thumbprinting 20 times, 10 times. Cameras are on them. We have all those evidence. So there's no African election today that is free and fair. If you are strong, you win. If you are not strong, you lose. Secondly, you talk about arresting Papavi Hogbedato, Mr. Charles Kwame Kujoji, yes, a great son of the land. He did a lot of work by awakening up we the citizen, we the newborn generation of Togoland, by letting us know the truth, the reason why they do call us aliens. Papavi was arrested on the 9th May 2017 at Ho, and he was sent to court at Ho High Court. We all supported him. People from the northern, south, all over the central belt, everybody came together and we supported him. Massive crowd at Ho High Court. For 6 good months along the line, on the 18th July, the court wanted to pass a judgment. But we could see that the way the crowd on that day, because we believe strongly we are going to win the case. And the funny part of that day is that when we came to the court, the judge was not able to pass judgment. They said they wanted to do one of two things. Though, so from 18, instead for the judgment to be passed, they passed the judgment on the following day, which is on the 19th. Because they know definitely that people from afar came. And definitely a lot of people might be tired. So yes, they cannot wait in terms of accommodation and the feeding and stuff. So people will go. And we also waited. And on the 19th of that month, the judge at the whole High Court said the state attorney said they are not interested in the case any longer. So they have withdrawn the case.
Yeah, dismissed. Case is dismissed.
They have dismissed the case. So 6 good months, we went to court and the case was dismissed. And when you look at the historical facts, when the lawyers, our legal teams were going to court, the documents that they do hold, they were not touching the issue on the ground. So later on, they said they don't have interest in the case and they dismissed it. And the following year, Papavi was arrested in 2019 again, while he went and raised a flag at Ho, and he was flew with other 7 people to Accra. And later on, that one too, the charges were being drawn, and they were discharged, and they asked them to go. And so the substantive issue on the ground, which is the union issue that we are talking about, that where is the union agreement between Togoland and Ghana or Western Gold Coast, they were not talking about it. And we are not understanding the reason why when our legal team always go to court and they ask, go into the matter, where is the union agreement? Where is the union document? What brings these two countries together? They are not coming out with it. Today, when Ireland and United Kingdom, they wanted to battle on any legal terms, definitely United Kingdom will come out with a union act. They will come out with a legal document. But where is our own? Our is nowhere to be found. As with Jabura, it has become a sort that have lost in a vegetable. It's nowhere to be found. So if they were able to touch the issue, the main issue, which is the union issue, I believe strongly everybody, the whole world will know that no, these people, they were talking about something which have attention, but they are not touching the main issue. So we don't know the reason why the main issue, you have arrested me and you file your defense, I also file my defense. But the main issue, you are not touching it. Recently, when they went to the court, our people, about 60 people, we heard that they were discharged, and immediately they were discharged, they rearrested them and sent them back again. We are only praying that the main issue that is in the ball court, in the center, which is the union between these two countries, the Ghanaian authorities should attend to it with immediate effect. That will be our request.
Thank you so much. Okay, I think we've completely reached our allotted time. I'm going to allow you to take a few seconds to look into the camera and talk to the Ghanaian government. What do you want to tell them about your concerns? Go ahead, Mr. Yevugah.
Your Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana. Your Excellency, former President, Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings. Your Excellency, former President John Ajekum Kufuor. Your Excellency, former President John Dramani Mahama, the current presidential candidate of the opposition party NDC. We, the concerned citizens of the Western Togoland, are appealing to your office to attend to the issue of Western Togoland. It needs an urgent attention. The issue of Western Togoland needs to be addressed. The union between Togoland and Gold Coast of Ghana, where is it? We will be very grateful for your office to attend to the issue to be addressed. What is happening now on the land of Western Togoland? We are not happy about it, especially we, the concerned citizens of the land. That is the reason why we call ourselves concerned citizens. Because whatever that is going on the land, it is we, the youth of the land, are the people suffered most. So it's better you attend to the issue so that peace will prevail. The United Nations, African Union, Amnesty International, International Human Rights, United Kingdom, all peace-loving community all over the world. We, the concerned citizens of the Western Togoland, appeal to your office to come to our aid. The issue of Western Togoland needs an urgent attention. It needs to be addressed. Thank you very much. We count on you, and we believe strongly by hearing our grievances, you attend to this issue so that peace will prevail. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this very, good, very well interview. Your answers were great, and it's very enlightening because, most people want to know. And our audiences across the globe today, I would be saying, now we know what is going on, what is happening. Now we understand the issue. We hope this is not going to be the first and last interview with us. We may have many more interviews because the issue is still there. And I'm open to receiving anybody from the Ghanaian authorities to also come and give their version of this issue, because they said as they say in our traditions, you cannot only listen to one bird. You have to listen to the second one sing so that you can compare them. So I hope someone will come from the other side and give us their version of the story. Thank you so much, Mr. Yevugah, and I hope people who have watched us today have really enjoyed. And I call upon all of them, if they liked what they saw, what they heard, they should go to Facebook and YouTube and just like us everywhere. Just like everywhere and go home and be happy, because we've made you happy, didn't we? Thank you so much. So again, we are closing our show for today. You were watching this very wonderful show, Africa a Monarchy, Africa a Monarchy, today, presented by Professor Musa Isifu. Thank you so much.
My name is Abdi Haibe. I am a social worker. So please join us on November 3rd to vote for the candidate who is supported by the Service Employee International Union. To find out information about where to vote from home, please go to vote.seiumn.org.
À Minneapolis, Tempo Afrique Travel. Vous voulez voyager? Achetez vos billets d'avion à l'agent de voyage Tempo Afrique Travel. Avec l'agent de voyage Tempo Afrique Travel, pas de problème de connexion, pas de problème de transfert de vol. Avec l'agent de voyage Tempo Afrique Travel, c'est le voyage en toute tranquillité, en toute beauté, de votre maison jusqu'à votre destination. Votre satisfaction est notre plaisir.